Welcome to the Journey of Self. This is your coach, Mehnaz Amjad. In this series, we will be embarking on a journey together with an intention to help you take one step closer to your best self. This series is designed to help you overcome obstacles that are holding you back from living your best life. Let's get started. Our today's title is Just One Question. What's the reality? Many moons ago, there was a time in my life where I went through a very difficult phase in my professional life. Now, I was not laid off, but I was struggling in a role which was full of glamour but no work. The title was glamorous, the pay was equally glamorous, but in reality, the work was just too difficult to comprehend or even to work on. The company had a toxic culture. My supervisor was way too political and sharp. He was so shrewd that I lacked any ability to tackle such shrewd and sharp mind. More importantly, my values were also not at all in sync with the job, role, and the people around. As a result, it was an everyday struggle for me. I was not just into a toxic job with a toxic boss, but I was in that job for a very, very long time. And today, when I look back, to be very honest with you, I was so confused with my ongoing crisis around me that I completely lacked perspective and clarity. In short, I was heedless to the extent that I felt as if I have no other option. I was just stuck, having no direction, where to move, and what to do next. But living in through such jobs for a very long time is also not easy. So then came a time where I actually gave up and quit the job. But before I quit, one of the best decisions of my life was to seek help from my coach. And in this regards, when I approached my coach, but one thing I would like to share here with you, friends, a very key point, that I suffered for a long time because I actually didn't reach out to my coach immediately. Otherwise, I would have saved myself from a lot of suffering, which I went through. Okay. So when I approached my coach with this issue, just like any other coach would ask, my coach asked me, okay, go on, let me know what exactly is your issue. And almost for close to 15 minutes, I non-stop went on talking about my job, pulling out every negative point from my role, about my boss, my destiny, my entire life. I felt everything was a mess. After a good 15 minutes, I just stopped to take a breath. And my coach asked me just one question. What's the reality? That day, this one question changed my life. Having spoken for just endlessly for close to such a long time non-stop, after listening to this question, what's the reality? I went silent for more than an hour, I guess. This question paused me. I stood there silently. I collected my notes. I went back and forth. I was referring to my journal notes, to all those recent events that happened, to my appraisal, to every incident, my experiences, just trying to understand my thoughts, my endless analysis, all the while thinking. And this one question, what's the reality? After a, after a 10-minute break, my coaches asked me to close my eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and repeated the question and said, simply ask yourself, what's the reality? And when I actually did that, I kept everything away, the notes, the analysis, and my racing thoughts. I closed my eyes, I took 3 deep breaths, and sat there and asked this question to myself. And believe me, I share this with you from my own personal experience. It was as if I had opened up a floodgates of insights from inside me. I never knew I had all the answers inside me. They all came out, including correcting me in the most polite way that I was wronging my own self. This one question changed my life. It opened up my mind to things I failed to see or I was overlooking or perhaps I refused to see. Most of us wonder, how could that be? One question, one statement. But friends, believe me, it happens. The call to action for you is, if even just like me, you find yourself caught up in a mess, caught up in a wrong role, wrong job, with a wrong partner, or anything in your life where you feel you have a lot of ideas, thoughts that are overwhelming you, you feel you are heedless, you just don't know where to find direction, you feel you're stuck, you're looking for clarity, you're looking for direction in life, try this. Take 3 deep breaths, close your eyes, pause for a second, and to whatever is happening in your present life, just relate to that, recollect that, and ask this question to yourself. What's the reality? Our mind has miraculous powers, but only if we pause and learn to tap into our inner wisdom. Whatever we are dealing with has another dimension, which actually is its reality. And to really tap into that, we need to pause and reflect. And you never know what you will end up finding. Just like me, you may find a solution to something you've been looking for years with just that one question. What's the reality? Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.